Governor Kate Brown said today that there are some signs that Oregon's latest surge is headed in a better direction. The governor and health leaders are urging everyone to step up to make sure students will be able to continue with in-person learning. Fox 12's Sarah Hurwitz has more on the message to Oregonians.
Well, during that press conference today, we learned that COVID hospitalizations and cases are down slightly across the state. And as students return to the classroom this week, as a parent, you might have some concerns with this Delta variant. But the Oregon Department of Education did want to assure the community that schools are well versed and practiced in health and safety protocols. In Oregon, the COVID numbers remain alarmingly high.
Our hospitals have reached the saturation point, where health systems are not able to provide care to everyone arriving at their doors. That means fewer beds for anyone who experiences a medical incident, not just COVID-19. An overwhelming majority of the patients with COVID-19 filling these critically needed beds are unvaccinated. I cannot say this more plainly. This is a crisis that is largely being driven by people who have not yet been vaccinated against COVID-19.
State epidemiologist Dr. Dean Seidlinger says the state's most recent weekly report tallied 16,252 new cases. Seidlinger says that is the 8th consecutive weekly increase and is 13 times higher than the cases reported back on July 4th weekend. Now, with students returning to in-person learning this week, the Oregon Department of Education with this message.
If you are a student, a family member, an educator, or really anyone who comes into contact with school-age children, we have an ask of you. As communities across the state, we need you to do your part to protect this school year.
For families with kids who are heading back to the classroom, Director Colt Gill says ODE released these back-to-school tips. Make a plan to vaccinate all eligible household members, wear a mask in public and in carpools, limit your gatherings with other households, move any gatherings outside, and make a plan in case your child needs to miss school.
Almost all the health and safety protocols a school will implement this year are in their hands. The state and our communities are placing our trust in local school leaders to consider physical distancing, ventilation, symptom screening, and so much more.
He says that's in addition to statewide masking and vaccine requirements. He says it's a priority to give students full-time in-person learning all year long.
Our children need this. Nearly all our children can learn better when they're taught in person by a talented teacher who can build a caring bond that leads to each child growing and learning beyond our expectations.
ODE is also launching what it's calling a Care and Connection program. This helps rebuild relationships, and it also gives students a chance to process everything that happened over the last 18 months. Now, for the latest updates on health and safety protocols for your school, you want to check your school's website or ODE's website. In Beaverton, Sarah Hurwitz, Fox 12 Oregon.